Hi. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 5th Annual California Cognitive Science Conference. My name is Dhruva Banerjee, and I am the president of the Cognitive Science Student Association, otherwise known as the CSSA, and we are the organizing body for today's meeting. Thank you so much for gathering here today. We really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to have you with us at this annual celebration of the brain and mind. We hope you have an incredible experience and you come away from today's talks, discussions, poster sessions, exhibits more enlightened than when you started. Now, this theme of enlightenment has come up here a lot, as you might have noticed, and I wanted to tell you why. I mean, maybe you've seen our brain light bulbs on your way to campus chalked in gigantic proportions, or maybe you've probably seen on your name tags, we've got them there. But we thought this was an especially appropriate theme for today's meeting. In many languages, there's a persistent metaphor that relates light to understanding. When we're confused, we're left in the dark until a brilliant, illuminating plan comes to us. And light allows us to see if something is unclear. It clarifies things for us. And so, an enlightened mind is one that has been enriched by learning and knowledge. But this brings up many questions. What makes a mind enlightened? If we begin naive as babies, what allows us to acquire knowledge so broadly and flexibly, especially at a young age? We can learn whatever language our environment exposes us to. Is this because our brains are incredibly plastic, or because human languages are inherently constrained to be learnable? Or perhaps it's both. And do schools tap into natural learning mechanisms of the brain? Or can schools be reimagined to better educate children? And how far have we gotten in reproducing this incredible ability to learn in artificial systems? For instance, will robots be taking over any day soon? We really want an answer to that one. Does our knowledge color the even other basic aspects of cognition? For instance, how we see the world, our perception of everything. And at the end of the day, or at the end of a lifetime, when all this information is accumulated, how is it stored in the brain? What does a memory look like? Is it fragile? And can the complex interplay of molecular factors that go into making a memory be easily disrupted? And can selective memories be erased from our minds? And is there any hope of curing dementia and restoring memories when diseases such as Alzheimer's strike? These are all questions that we'll be discussing here today with our brilliant speakers. Every year, the CSSA carves out a portion of cognitive science to examine in great detail. This time, our focus falls on learning and memory, and we have some great speakers here who will share their knowledge and experience on the topic. There's a second reason enlightenment was an appropriate theme, not just for today's conference, but for this field in general. As you may know, enlightenment also refers to a period in history, a time in Europe when great thinkers espoused reason and new ways of approaching age-old questions over superstition and ritual. Well, the field of cognitive science today captures this excitement exactly. People have been grappling with questions about the mind for centuries. It is perhaps one of the most enigmatic yet personal challenges in our quest to understand the world. And it's a challenge that has been tackled in various forms by countless individuals. But cognitive science uniquely marks a time when interdisciplinary approaches have revealed a great deal about the brain and mind and offer us the potential to learn a great deal more in the future. The Enlightenment led to great advances in science, technology, medicine, politics, and the arts in the 17th century. We can hope that cognitive science will do the same and will lead to cures for grave illnesses, develop incredible new technology, create better educational paradigms, and even help us understand ourselves better. The events of today should stand as a testament to the great work going on in this field. I wanted to mention that today's meeting is a milestone for our organization. This is the 5th annual California Cognitive Science Conference. What began as an idea between a few friends has grown into an internationally attended celebration of the brain and mind. And yet, since its inception, this meeting continues to be organized by a small, dedicated group of undergraduates who I've had the distinct pleasure of working with throughout the years. To reflect on our history and relive the moments through photographs, please visit the CECSC reflections table downstairs at noon. While you're there, you will also find exhibits and hands-on demonstrations from the Synesthesia Association of Berkeley, Brain Bites, and the Brain, Mind, and Consciousness Society of Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz. Or, if you're more interested in neuroanatomy, you can spend some time feeling a real human brain right here in this room, 105. Or you can drop by to Auditorium 106, where we will be watching cognitive science-inspired films created by undergraduate filmmakers right here in Berkeley and from Paris, France. The highlights of the noontime events will be the Research Symposium, also downstairs, where scholars from across the world will be presenting the latest and most exciting research in cognitive science today. Please refer to your programs for a wealth of information regarding today's events. The 3 numbers on your name tag will direct you to the auditorium of your preferred focus talk as we move through the day. If you have any questions through the day, please approach any of us with a purple name tag for help. And any topics that you find confusing, you can write down on the Brain Bites sheet of paper that should be included in your folder, and you can leave them in a basket and we'll get back to you about it. And if you plan to tweet about the conference, please use the CCSC13 hashtag. As I call Joshua Levin from CSSA to the stage to introduce our first keynote speaker, Dr. David Ferrucci, I'd just like to request that everyone take a moment to turn off or silence your cell phones as a courtesy to our speakers and other guests. Once again, thank you for coming, and I hope we can all leave here today a little more enlightened. Thank you.